Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Spoilers and Theories video for NCIS Season 13 Episode 24, Family First, aka the Season 13 finale, aka Michael Weatherly's final episode. So this is the official press release for Family First. The promo is basically a shortened version of the Farewell to Tony promo they released last week. It shows clips from older episodes, like him and Ziva saying goodbye and him diving into the water to rescue Gibbs, but it also shows clips from this upcoming episode, which includes him saying goodbye to both Abby and Gibbs. Sneak peeks were released, and usually I try to avoid sneak peeks, but I did cave in and watch one, and I'm gonna talk about it right now. If you don't want to hear about the sneak peek, which I totally understand, you can just skip to the time that I have listed at the bottom of the screen. So skip now or forever hold your peace. If you're continuing to watch, brace yourself. The sneak peek itself is only like 18 seconds long, but it feels like so much is happening. So the sneak peek shows Tony, and I think this is the same scene where he's like holding her necklace in his hand. It shows Tony and he's staring at the video of the farmhouse still. This whole clip he's kind of like in a daze, and I think it's because he's so concerned about the fact that Ziva might be dead, kind of like he was in Truth or Consequences. Like, this scene reminds me a lot of that squad room scene. But he's saying, I can't stay here, if that's Ziva I gotta go. And then Gibbs is like, get this man a plane, and McGee's like, already did. Oh my god. And Bishop's like, what are you waiting for? This scene is just like, this scene gave me whiplash. And then Gibbs kind of snaps him out of it at the end and is like, go! And then he just runs off, and that's the sneak peek. And this sneak peek kind of makes me nervous. He's gonna be getting on a plane to Israel to try and find her. I'm still going with the whole thing that she's not physically in this episode. So I'm wondering if he goes to Israel and we don't see it, or if we kind of just like skip a chunk of time, or if something stops him on the plane before he gets to Israel. I'm gonna be really sad if he gets in the elevator and the next clip on the news is like, found, charred body of woman. And they have to call him and be like, you might want to try and get a refund on those tickets. The fact that he's trying to find her again, oh my goodness. I would not be surprised if this scene was earlier on in the episode, because they look like they're all still wearing the same clothes as they were in the last scene. And I'll talk about this later, but I think there's a lot of stuff we have to get through in this episode. I wouldn't be surprised if this was one of the first scenes, if not the first scene. Sneak peek over. Theories. Goodness gracious. One thing we've been really missing is the fact that we don't necessarily have a solid idea of how Tony's gonna leave yet. We've been kind of told that Ziva has an impact on why he leaves, so I'm curious to know what that is. Maybe he does do that thing where he has to go on a journey like she does, or maybe she dies and he's honoring her memory. You know what? Maybe he does go to Israel and him and Ziva can start their life together. I wasn't expecting it, but then again, Ziva/Tiva stuff that's been happening this arc has already been way beyond what I expected. I would imagine it's something where he can still keep his career. DiNozzo is obviously a very talented agent, and I think he's very passionate about what he does, so I would really like to still see him have that career option. And there's a picture that was released by CBS that shows Tony in what I believe is the director's office, and then the whole team is like waiting outside, listening in, and I'm wondering if that's maybe where they kind of talk about DiNozzo's career options. On top of that, just kind of discussing his future. It would make sense that the team would be interested to hear what's happening on the inside. Is Ziva dead? I just don't know. I wouldn't be surprised either way. Well, that's a lie. I think I'd be still at this point, even though I know it's very much an option, I think I'd still be a little bit more surprised if she died. I feel like at this point she doesn't have to die, and maybe my mind will be changed by something that happens earlier on in this episode. I'd love for her to still be breathing by the end of this episode. That's one of my main goals. I also feel like Ziva's usually ahead of the game. She might have been aware that she was being hunted down and maybe wasn't staying at that farmhouse anymore, or maybe she was in on it and made it look like her house blew up to throw Trent Court off. I just feel like Ziva's usually ahead of the game when it comes to stuff like this. But then again, who knows? And Michael Weatherly tweeted that like grasshopper clip where the student was finally able to grab the stone from the master's hand. I think Tony knows it's time to move forward with his career. He'll finally be out in the world like a free baby bird. I think it seems good that Gibbs appears to be giving him his full blessing. With that, it looks like a parting head slap. I might be wrong, but I'm hoping it's like that, like an embrace / head slap. That would be so beautiful. His scene with Abby saying goodbye seems really touching and sweet. Tears are happening, both in the scene and like in my heart. All of the goodbyes from the pictures and tiny clips we've seen seem nice and fitting and genuine so far. It seems really accurate and true to what their relationship has been, and the fact that he gets more emotional with Abby, just how he's like saying goodbye to McGee, and the fact that he hugs Jimmy Palmer. His love for Jimmy Palmer comes to the surface. Senior is in this episode, and it looks like he's in his apartment with Tony, and there's a bag, so I'm wondering if he's helping him pack or something. This seems like a lot that's happening in this one episode. I'm also wondering about the time situation, like if there's any kind of time jumps happening. As far as other guest cast goes, I'm not sure. I think so many doors have been opened in this plotline that really anyone could come back and I wouldn't be surprised. Freaking Jenny Shepard could walk up and I'd be like, oh, of course. I'm wondering if anyone from Ziva's past will be there, like Adam or the new Mossad director. Lord help us if Dean is back. Lord help us. Maybe Fornell wakes up, and maybe Emily has given him a full makeover at this point. Hopefully Fornell regains consciousness. I'm wondering if Trent Court will get his comeuppance. I think a couple of articles have said that Tony is really focused and is now kind of a man on a mission because Ziva is happening. I feel like Tony has a little bit of a bone to pick with Trent Court at this point. Will they have a showdown? Let's see. The title, Family First. I more immediately thought of Tony's NCIS team as his family because we have established that they are like a family to one another. So I think it would make sense that they could be referred to as his family. I know there is like Senior, but I mean, I'm not expecting Senior to be the main plot point of this episode, but at this point I feel like nothing is off the table. He could be thinking about his future family that he does not have yet, like maybe he's considering where he would have to be in his life to successfully move to the point where he could have a wife and kids and be where he wants to be in his career. That might be the whole family first thing. Or maybe him and Ziva have triplets that she's been hiding away for all of these years. Wow, wouldn't that be something? But overall, there's two main things that I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for an ending for Tony that's even half as magnificent as he is, and I'm also hoping for some really great bonding moments that center around him and the team. And yes, I'm including Ziva in the team. I'm hoping the case is primarily used to achieve some of those moments at this point. You know, Tony's been such a huge part of this show for the past 13 seasons, and I think his legacy will forever have an impact on the team and on NCIS. I would love to see some great Tony and Ziva stuff because I feel like she has been a very significant part of his life and helping him grow, and I love them. I love Tifa. Michael Weatherly did say that Tifa fans would hopefully be excited, so that is something I'm both nervous about and looking forward to. I really do hope we get some good Tony Ziva material. I am really looking forward to that Tony Gibbs scene in the basement, because first of all, the basement seems like a perfect place. Gibbs has been such a father figure to Tony, and Tony's been such like a son figure to Gibbs. How do you say goodbye to a relationship like that? That's a question I'm really interested and excited to see how they answer. McGee, his brother McGee, you know, oh my god, maybe he gives the fish to someone as a parting gift. Maybe he adds himself to the bowl. Here is the bowl of the people you've lost. Enjoy. Oh, I want it to happen so bad now. I want Tony to add himself to the goldfish bowl and then give it to like McGee or something. Oh my god, I lost my point. This goldfish theory is just too powerful. I'm also intrigued to see how he'll say goodbye to Bishop. Like, they have an element of closeness between the three of them, like as siblings. But individually, I'm very interested to see how he'll say goodbye to her. I really hope we get some really great DiNozzo material. I just really genuinely hope that this episode puts him on a track that will lead him to a really successful, happy future. I would love to see as much DiNozzo humor and drama and all of those elements all packed into one into this episode. But more than that, I would just love to see him end up with that potential for a wonderful future and the life that I really think he deserves. And you know, if that includes Ziva, who am I to stop him? But seriously, I do hope he has a wonderful life. I tried to make a movie reference like in his honor, and I don't think it really worked. I'm both nervous yet extremely excited to see Family First. I love Tony DiNozzo so much. I'm gonna miss stuff like seeing him interact with the team and seeing him with that back and forth dynamic that he can have between serious and funny, and it's so wonderful and I'm gonna miss it. But I think that Tony's leaving behind such a wonderful legacy, and I think he still has such a great future ahead of him, that I'm gonna be kind of happy for him rather than sad, hopefully. Michael Weatherly is just fantastic. I was watching a bunch of interviews and stuff with him in it to get the spoilers for this video, and it just kept reminding me how much I'm gonna miss him being a part of this cast. But I'm so happy for him. But he does have the whole Bull TV show ahead of him where he plays Phil McGraw and he stays as like a legal consultant. It's still on CBS, which is nice. He's an incredibly gifted actor, and he just seems like an all-around really great human being. I'm really gonna miss him being a part of this cast. But I am excited for him to live his life and move forward with his career. I think that's super exciting. And I'd just like to thank him for giving us these 13 years of Tony. I believe that's it for the Spoilers and Theories video for NCIS Season 13, Episode 24, Family First. I'm really excited to hear what you guys think about this episode. I don't know if I'm going to be able to film my live reactions this time, just because I'm watching this episode with other people, and I don't know if they're going to be super comfortable with being filmed and like me like talking to a camera the whole time. I'm still going to try and work something out, maybe react during the commercial breaks or do a reaction immediately afterwards, because I'm anticipating that I'll have some reactions to this episode. I'm really gonna try and work something out with that. Like I said, I dig this arc, I dig Tony, and I dig Michael Weatherly. I'm gonna miss all three of those things being involved in this show, but it's been wonderful. I'm very excited to see this episode, and I will see you guys for the recap and review.